You're welcome back from the breather. I'm so excited. It's Wednesday. That means we have Tech Talk. And as usual, Spiky Kobe Nkrumah joins me in studio to discuss everything tech. Good morning, Spiky.
Good morning, Maps.
How are you doing?
Very
You're
well,
right?
always 100.
All right, so we've ended our series on, things to consider when choosing a computer or a laptop.
Yep.
Today, we're starting a new series. What are we doing?
We're talking about mobile phone camera jargon.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people now use their phones to take pictures, and there's a whole lot you could do with a phone. But do you know all that your phone could do? Your phone camera, do you know everything that it could do?
Probably not.
Exactly.
In fact, not. Yeah.
So yeah, we want to tell people what they need to know.
All right.
So first off, we'll just start by talking about what the smartphone camera is, the basics. So every smartphone camera is different. You have ones with a single camera, you have ones with 2 cameras, 3 cameras, you have ones that I can actually shoot in 3D.
Okay.
You have cameras that can shoot using lasers, so they use lasers so they can adjust the focusing and everything. And we have ones that can do like shooting in HD or 4K. Now, the most important thing people hear when they're buying a phone because of the camera is the megapixels.
Yes.
Now, it's usually stated in MP for short. One thing that you need to know is that's how we measure how many pixels. When you say a pixel, a single cubic dot in that picture. So you have a camera that has 1 megapixel, that's 1 million pixels. Now, so for that you have 1,000 by 1,000.
Okay, so let's take that again.
Yeah.
All right. Megapixel.
Yes.
Yes. Is the cube.
Yeah,
right.
so the pixel is the cube.
The pixel is the cube.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you have 1 megapixel,
Okay.
that's 1 million cubes.
Okay.
So 1 million pixels,
Okay.
which is 1,000 pixels horizontally times 1,000 pixels vertically.
Yeah. All right. So average phone or the latest Samsung, how many megapixels does it have?
So the latest camera from Samsung is 108 megapixels.
108 megapixel. Okay.
But the current ones that people have are about 12 megapixels.
About 12 megapixels.
So that's 12 million pixels.
Okay.
So you're looking at horizontally and vertically. When you multiply all those pixels, that's 12 million. That means that you get very crisp details in your shot.
Okay.
So if you take a 1 megapixel photo, for instance, it'd probably be like a printed out passport picture.
Yeah.
Now if you take a 108 megapixel picture, that'd be larger if you printed it out in its full, resolution. So going beyond that, then you have the sensor size. So the sensor size is essentially the size of the camera that accepts the image. Now, the bigger the sensor, the more it can see. It doesn't mean that the bigger your eyes, the better you can see.
Yeah.
But the bigger the sensor of the lens, the better the pictures will be. So if you're buying a phone and they're advertising that, hey, it has a large sensor, then you should know that when you're taking photos in the night, it will be clearer.
Okay, so the sensor is better for the night.
Yes.
Okay.
So the bigger the sensor,
the better you can see at night.
Yes.
Okay.
And the bigger the sensor, the bigger the pixels.
Yeah.
So in theory, at least, if you have 2 phones with the same megapixel count, one has a bigger sensor, that one will produce better shots.
Okay.
So if you have 2 12 megapixel cameras and then one sensor is actually bigger, like I've indicated on the side over here, then it means that the one with a bigger sensor, the picture will be better. Now moving on.
So the sensor, does it come with like in sizes?
The sensors, yes, they do come in sizes. So you have, well, they don't tell you how big the size is. They usually advertise them and how they communicate that, hey, this camera has a sensor size of 1 inch versus some that comes in probably 100 millimeters and all that. So the bigger the sensor, just look out for the megapixel count and then your sensor size.
Okay, all right.
Now in the following series, we would explain more
about it. Okay.
So yeah.
So basically, it doesn't really matter how many megapixels you have. The most important thing is your sensor. That's what I'm getting.
The most important thing, yes, is your sensor. Not the most important, but it's also very important.
Yeah.
Basically, if you have 2 cameras, and then one has a bigger sensor than the other one, and they all have the same megapixel count, the one with the bigger sensor will take better pictures. So you have to do your research and find out what's the size of my sensor, even if it's 14 megapixel, and this one is, let's say, also 14 megapixel, the one with the bigger sensor would be the best picture taker.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that, Spiky. We'll continue the series next week. Join us Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we talk everything